Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to whatever this is. I started recording these in bed the first time we went to war with Iran, if you can remember, not the first, actually, the first time in recent times, the first time in the last few months. Let's just put it that way. Last summer, we bombed. Well, I didn't. I don't collectively consider myself a part of what the US government is doing. But no, the US government bombed Iran, and we did an episode in bed because you know what? It was just like sort of the vibe. It was my vibe at the time. And funnily enough, it has only become more and more correct. It's more and more correct. I don't want to get out of bed today. And you know what? If you are like me, you have been in awe, you have been whimsy maxing, if we can put it that way, over pictures of the moon, over this incredible moon mission that is all about uniting around this a beautiful, beautiful thing called humanity and realizing that we are all Homo sapiens, to quote the amazing astronauts. Can we pull up their names? Chessie, our producer, is hard at work this morning. We did just publish an episode of Boy Problems, and so we are a little manic here, but we still wanted to come through and do a live show with you. And I'm wondering, yeah, Chessie, if you can write the astronauts' names at the top of the doc so I can shout them out. So yeah, we have 4 incredible astronauts. We have 2 girl dads, a Canadian and a woman. And I really do think that that's who will get us out of this. If there are people that I trust, it's women, it's girl dads, and it's Canadians. And if you're all 3, well, it'd be hard, I guess, to be a girl dad and a woman, but you know what? Do whatever you want. If someone can look, anyone who's a girl dad, anyone who's a Canadian, anyone who's a woman, please sound off in the comments. Please comment with a little moon emoji because you mean the world to me. This Artemis 2 amazing space mission is just, it's so delightful. All weekend, I was lying in bed watching videos on my phone of the amazing space ship departing, people crying, people being in awe, people filming from their little, airplane seats. And you could literally see it leave the earth. And it was so incredible, right? And these astronauts who are basically poets. Okay, they're basically poets. That's why we're not just sending some robot. Okay. AI will not steal, the robots will not steal the best jobs. They're not going to steal the astronaut job. Okay. That if we need to still, Chessie, do we have the names? Oh my God, we do. Reed Wiseman, who's the commander. And if he's single, I am interested. Let's just put it that way. If anyone knows Reed, because Reed Wiseman, who's the commander, is a girl dad. He has 2 amazing daughters, and he has a wife that unfortunately passed away 2 years ago of cancer. And he named a moon crater after her, which is ultimate proof of if he wanted to, he would. Ladies, if someone didn't text you back in the last few days, last few weeks, last few months, just remember that if he wanted to, he would name the moon after you. And I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. And I'm gonna cry. It's not because the president is threatening war crimes. I'm gonna cry for a good reason, and then maybe I'll cry for a bad reason later. But we're not gonna talk about it yet. Not yet. Okay. I do want to talk about the moon a little bit longer. So we have Reed Wiseman, who is so hot and smart and incredible. And then we have Victor Glover Pilot, who, can we find a photo of Victor's family, please? Can we pull anything up, Chessie? Because, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Your video is frozen.
Oh, cute. Love that.
Stay on the stream here. Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you guys see me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Chessie, can you put some cool media from Victor's family, because I have been seeing it all over my feed and I've been loving it. So are you saying that I can't like look at the run of show? it crashes out when I do that. Is that what's happening?
Yes. Can you use your cell?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Jesse's always fixing problems. So yeah, if you are on this chat, this stream, you are seeing Victor and his family. I mean, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I think he's been married for 20 years, to his incredible wife. And I just think he should be president. I don't really know that much about him, but I know like 4 things about him and 4 things that he said, and all of them were the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. So I think he should be president. If you think one of the astronauts or all 4 of them should be president, sound off in the comments. I just think it is like I don't see a downside to it at this point. One of the things that struck me the most while I was watching these incredible humans speak about the universe and humanity and human beings was just how eloquent and smart all these people were. Like the head commander lady who's like in a pistachio suit. Did you guys, what's her name? She has like just all these fucking women, just being at the helm of this incredible mission, and just the professionalism. And I feel so at ease when I have nerds in charge of us. I feel so great. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's Jesse. So yeah, I feel really good. I felt really good this weekend. I thought, oh my gosh, this is what it used to feel like to be on planet Earth. I used to feel proud to be to be part of the human species. You know what I mean? It used to feel good. And it's possible to still feel good. And it's also like, this is America, by the way, doing this amazing space mission, right? There's something really incredible about that. And Americans are great. And there are great things happening in America if you don't let a psychopath take over. If you just don't elect psychopaths, look at what great things can happen. And so I was very excited about that. Okay, Robert said, let's just moon and pretend dump is silent. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how the moon is gay? Can we pull up some images about the moon? Because at first there were images coming from the moon that showed that it was really it had lost its shine. Some people were saying, oh my gosh, it looks so much sadder than it used to. And then new pictures dropped, new moon pics dropped, and it's kind of pink and it's kind of purple and it's kind of shiny, and it's giving whimsy. I think the moon is whimsy maxing. And if you don't know what that means, go watch our episode of Boy Problems where we talk about whimsy maxing. The New York Times may or may not be doing a story about it. Guys, breaking news. Anyway, there's more important things to talk about, but that is fun. Keep your eyes peeled out for that. So yeah, the moon is, are you kidding me? I want to be the moon. I want my entire wardrobe to be moon adjacent. I want it to be moon color coded. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's the moon, guys. That's the moon. We've never seen that part of the moon. Why am I crying? Qualified women. Robert says, I wish Kamala Harris was in charge. Cry emoji. Yeah. I wish a lot of things right now. I wish the moon was in charge of us. Or I wish I was at the moon. I wish I could leave Earth. Did anyone else watch them leave Earth and just go, lucky? And oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I can't believe it. Imagine taking pics of the moon. And then, of course, Victor, our next president, I hope, said, I love you from the moon, honey. He said that to his wife. Again, if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. So yeah, the moon is doing her thing. the moon will continue. Someone wrote on threads, they were like, don't worry about your stretch marks, baby. The moon has all these stretch marks, all these craters, all these holes from years and years of experience, life experience, moon experience. And so don't worry about it, girl. I love that. Yeah, that was one of the first things they said. They were like, you look amazing. Why? Why are we? It's just, does anyone have theories about why it's so mesmerizing and uplifting to think about the moon and to remember that we are part of a giant ecosystem full of life? And it is just mystical. Life is so magical, but when you are focusing on your little problems or your big problems, boy problems, we're going to get into one big boy problem in a bit. It's easy to forget how magical it is that we exist and how magical it is. Okay, this is my favorite TikTok. Stop, Jesse. I'm going to start crying. Stop crying. This little girl. Just looking at the spaceship in her little suit. I can't, because there's so many beautiful things about this mission, but it's not just the girl dads. It's the first woman that's going to be on the moon, right? I mean, that's just history, baby. And apparently they didn't send 300 tampons for her 8-day mission or whatever, which they did with Sally. What was her last name? Sally. I just know her first name because I love the name Sally. No, they sent I hope a reporter does ask Christina, the amazing astronaut who's in space, how many tampons did they pack? Also, if like you're not gonna, I wonder if you get your period more quickly if you're in space, because I do think you can get it more earlier if you're on a plane. I don't think I made that up. So, okay. So there's all kinds of beautiful things happening. And it's really exciting. So, of course, of course, if you have grown up with a narcissist in your life, in your family, in your immediate family, in your vicinity, you know that the more narcissistic someone is, the more they have to ruin everything great. The more they have to take anything that's great about the world, that's wonderful. Famously, they will ruin your birthday. Famously, they will pick a fight on Christmas. Famously, they will, in my case, I experienced this firsthand. When you get a job, the day you get a job and you come home and you're like, I have a job, they will ruin it. Andy says, Liz, I love you. And Andy, I just want to say that I love you too. I love you. And if I was near the moon, I would name a crater after you. Yeah. So like all malevolent narcissists, Donald Trump felt that the moon was getting a little bit too much attention. New gay moon. Nope. The moon is sparkly, beautiful, and vibrant. There are 4 astronauts, American astronauts, who are galvanizing all of our attention and hope for the world and for humanity. Nope. Gotta ruin it. Oh, it's Easter. Gotta ruin it. Literally. Who here has had their Easter ruined by a narcissist? Well, you know what? This year, all of us. Hi, Malik, Benjamin, sending you lots of love. Happy Easter and Passover, whatever you're celebrating. Yeah. So on Easter morning, super fun time to drop an insane public statement, official public statement that will be remembered in history books. I don't know how they're going to put that. They're going to have to put so many asterisks in history books when they're covering this fucking guy. So he said Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be Allah. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. So yeah, that was sent on Sunday. That was cute. That was nice. And then when he was asked about it, obviously it's super offensive. I don't even need to say it. Even, and you know how I know it was offensive? It made me agree with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, I don't know if we have a video of him talking about it. Maybe we can pull it up. But yeah, when Tucker Carlson is offended, you know, this man has gone too far.
Well, on a practical level and a spiritual level, they converge in the same place, which is the use of weapons of mass destruction. So on a practical level, on a strategic level, if you're at the Pentagon gaming this out, like how does this work? The president of the United States keeps laying down markers. You can't go past next Tuesday at 2 p.m. or whatever. You must open the strait or else you'll be living in hell, as if we're not there already. And at a certain point, what we're doing is revealing that we've exhausted conventional power. If there's some tricky way to open the Strait of Hormuz by air, probably would have done it by now, because we are on a path to plunge the world into global depression and famine. And that's not hair on fire panicism. That's math. 30% of the world's fertilizer, 20% of its energy. Yeah, that's a global depression and famine. So where does this lead? Well, on a practical level and a spiritual level, they converge in the same place, which is the use of weapons of mass destruction. So on a practical level, on a strategic level, if you're at the Pentagon.
How dare you? How dare you make me agree with Tucker Carlson? What the hell is happening? Violet said a timeline. Oh my God, this plane is really loud. Sorry, guys. Violet says a timeline where I agree with Tucker and MTG is, and it was alien emoji. Yeah, it does. Yeah, because Marjorie Taylor Greene also came through being, well, basically like, okay, so basically after he sent this, I'm just going to call it a tweet. I kind of refuse to call it a truth social. It's not, I'm not giving free advertisement. I'm not validating his social media network with the correct term. So he tweeted that insane thing. And then he then proceeded to double down on the insanity. And then, sorry, I'm getting a call, guys. And then he doubles down on it. He's asked by reporters who are like, here's a way out of this. Just say you're not going to do war crimes. Easy. Just say no. Just say, why no? War crimes? No. No, he basically doubled down and was like, maybe. And as long as, and basically JD Vance doubled down on it. I think he's in Hungary or something today. I don't understand. I saw videos of JD Vance somewhere praising Orban and who's a white, a neo-Nazi. So that's fun. That's super fun when that happens. And so yeah, then a lot of people, all of the cast of characters of other villains came out being really offended. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owens, Alex Jones. When Alex Jones thinks you're crazy, do you realize how crazy that makes you? Like, do you realize how how far gone you are? And Tucker Carlson have all called for the 25th Amendment. And it's like, welcome to the team, I guess. Juliet says, like, what the actual fuck? Yeah, I've like run out of expletives. Oh, Lena wants to know if anyone's going to see the Springsteen concert tonight. Is there a concert? Is Bruce Springsteen performing? Doing a countdown of whether the president commits war crimes by 8 p.m. Also, when he says 8 p.m., is it 8 Eastern or Pacific? Because I have a happy hour tonight and I just want to know if I have to skip it. So I don't know if anyone can look that up real quick. Did something happen? Did he tweet something while we were live? Is that what's happening? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A whole civilization will die tonight. Okay. Yeah. That's him doubling down at 8:53 a.m. this morning. Yeah, he's basically being like, I might genocide. I might do a genocide. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, that's like literally not true. Lizzie, do you mind silencing? Are you able to silence your alerts? Thank you. So, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless to the great people of Iran. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, has been no regime change. I mean, is it a regime change when your son takes over and he's more radical than the dad? Like, I don't really know. If Don Jr. took over for Donald Trump, would that really be a regime change? Also, I have heard that his son is gay. Not Donald's son, but I've just heard. So Ryan says, fuck the 25th, Article 2, Section 4 only. So this is the thing. Also, the 25th Amendment, we're all becoming experts in the 25th Amendment, which it's always a bad news. Like, I think Jon Stewart was like, it's always, war is how Americans learn about geography. Like, it's bad news when like Americans are talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Like, you're not supposed to know what that is. And it's not good that we all care about the Strait of Hormuz right now. But yeah, I know now everyone knows about the 25th Amendment, which is also bad news. No, the 25th Amendment only works. It has to be his own cabinet. So people are saying Congress come back home and, go for the 25th Amendment. I don't think that, oh, great. Alex Jones has an explainer on the 25th Amendment. Perfect.
Compared to existential threat. How do we 25th Amendment is asked?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and let him pretend he's president and publicly report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over. It literally needs to be something like that. It's that bad.
I've known you a long time. You've never called for a internal coup before.
Ever. But that's how dangerous this is. That's how risky it is for the whole world.
Yeah, if I was the Democrats, I'd stop poking Trump and messing with him. That only makes it worse. Like, you guys need to watch out. This isn't a guy acting like he's crazy. This is real.
Well, what's there going to be to take over in 2026 or 2028 if this hits the fan? If we get it, he's threatening an extinction level event for the people of Iran tomorrow. Does nobody think there'll be any blowback from that? If he follows through on that, the whole world is screwed.
You were saying during the break, there's other ways to do this. People need to not just tell them the truth, like Susie Walsh said. It's time to just not. I mean, say what you just said.
Yeah, well, legally and constitutionally, the vice president is an independent elected official. The same as legally and constitutionally, the only oath any member of the military takes, any member of the State Department takes, any member of the intelligence community takes.
You know, things are bad when we are playing. Guys, I feel like I'm having a stroke. You know, things are bad when we are playing Alex Jones non-ironically. Non-ironically. Holy shit. Okay, Emerson says, I mean, if those are like the infrastructure weeks he promised America his whole first term, it's never going to arrive. But this is the thing. I watch Alex Jones be like, oh my God, he's crazy. And I'm like, I truly, truly do not understand how you just noticed that that's happening. Like, I know we've been saying this every day for the last fucking like 10 years. I guess it's 11 at this point. I'm going to throw up, but it's just, it's just, I don't even know how to really put words to it. So it's really disturbing. But I guess it's like great that those people are finally coming to terms with the fact that Trump is unwell. But I think it's just, I mean, who knew that Trump was unwell before he said he was going to commit war crimes? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. So yeah. And then I Read Earth says it's still the Democrats' fault. Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing all these things in my feed that are like, where's the strongly worded statement from Democrats, from Hakeem Jeffries? And it is true. Like what it's just, I think Aaron Parnas said this. He was like, Congress will be remembered as the most impotent body in like American history. You know, the fact that it has gone this far, like we've known that he has had the nuclear codes this whole time, and is like saying that Robert Mueller should have died and celebrating the death of American citizens, and you know, like Rob Reiner, and they're killing American citizens in the street. Like it has been very obvious that the nuclear codes are probably not safe in this man's hands. And I guess I'm glad people are realizing that he's nuts, but I'm baffled by what they thought was happening before this point. So Robert says the bad crazies are still grifting. They see the writing on the wall that Trump is done, so they want to flee the ship before it goes down. Yeah, that's a really plausible explanation. And they're not going to get to flee the ship before it goes down. You're the reason we're here. It's like the pod bros being like, oh man, Trump is kind of lying. It's weird, huh? Weird that he lied about this one thing when he lied to your face for 3 hours straight while you had him on your show, and, you know, joked about whatever, aliens or whatever. So, yeah, grifters are going to grift. And Colleen says, don't even joke about Don Jr. Don't put that into the universe. I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't think he doesn't have the sauce. He like is very JD Vance coded, in my opinion. And because you can be crazy. Well, you can't in America to get elected. You have to be, you can be crazy, but you have to have charisma, you know, and then people, I guess, will just vote the dumbest person and the most dangerous person on earth and put them in charge of everybody. But the charisma is important, I think, to manipulating the public. And I don't think Don Jr. has that in him, to be honest. And Andrew says it's the less radical. It's the radical left's fault for staying home. Right. Yeah, no, I blame Kamala Harris. That, you know, like the super leftist pod bros who told us not to vote for Kamala Harris because, I don't know. Yeah, they'll find a way to blame her. Candace Owens and Piers Morgan quote about Iran and Trump are incoming. Oh, yeah. Candace Owens, the 25th Amendment needs to be invoked. He's a genocidal lunatic. Our Congress and military needs to intervene. We are beyond madness. I mean, it's also like I'm hearing like feedback. Jesse, I don't know if your sound is on. Can you guys hear it? No? Okay, I think it stopped. Yeah, it's also like, okay, and then Piers Morgan saying this is a brazen pre-admission of genocide against the Iranian people, which would be obviously a war crime madness. Yeah, it's like, yeah, duh. What's that meme? Duh. Duh. The beef says so much being our protectors. What a fucking joke. Yeah, Courtney, there are so many men around Trump who take care of this right now, and they won't. Insane. Yeah. Right now. There are people who could right now put an end to this. And, you know, we're basically hostage. Like, we're held hostage. Iran is held hostage. We're all held hostage by this insane person. And the men in government aren't doing anything. And you know how many women have been fucking fired? I can't. I mean, I'm glad they got fired, but like that part. So yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, I just want to talk about the moon again, but like, I guess he ruined it. She was getting too much attention. Yeah, he had to ruin it. We had a 15-minute window. There was like Easter weekend, there was like a maybe 18 hours, where there was some good news. You would open your phone and you'd go on your feed and it felt like it was 2014 again. There'd be 2 sad things and then 12 good ones. There were memes. We had Nutella floating in space for a moment. We had girl dads. We had widowers naming the moon after their dead wife. This was our moment of hope, Core. Thank you, Jesse, for putting that on screen. We had it. We had Project Hail Mary. The movies were back, And by the way, the astronauts did watch it while they were in quarantine. And if anyone hasn't seen Project Hail Mary, I highly recommend it. It's I might go see it again. I think it's a good time to dip back into it because, oh my God, I just don't. What are we all doing at 8 p.m.? What are we doing? How are we getting together? Also, does anyone know how the astronauts are able, like why I don't have service if I'm in a basement of a pizza shop? Sorry, that's very QAnon sounding. I don't know why I said that. Let's just say a basement of a thrift store. I don't know. I don't know what would have a basement. Any basement. Why don't I have service when I'm in a basement? And why are the astronauts able to literally have a phone call with us? What the fuck? What the hell? What in the Wi-Fi? What in the Wi-Fi? And can they help us when we're on an airplane and I want to join a Zoom call? Why can I join a Zoom call? Why am I mean, honestly, it's kind of nice to get a Zoom break, to have a really, really foolproof reason not to be able to join a Zoom call. But sometimes there are Zoom calls I want to join and I can't because I'm on an airplane. And yet there are 4 astronauts who are on the other side of the fucking moon who can talk to us. And that's what we should play next. We should play the video where the astronauts kind of ghosted Trump in live, like on live television in real time. So the astronauts talked to, I guess the president called the astronauts in the middle of his mental breakdowns over the weekend. And here's the conversation they had. It's great. It's great. Just float the mic. We're good. Just yeah. No, that's just Chef's Kiss. That was incredible. That was incredible. I first thought that they actually had a technical difficulty, but apparently they didn't. They really just put the mic in the middle and they were like, we're done now. if the men's hockey team needs any advice, there it was. That was a masterclass in how to talk to a genocidal maniac. That's how you do it, guys. So I just do want to say how incredible this crew is. So they have broken the record for the farthest distance from Earth traveled by a human mission, surpassing the 248,655 miles set by Apollo 13 in 1970. And they successfully performed a lunar flyby, reaching a maximum distance of over 250,000 miles from Earth, and observed a solar eclipse from the far side of the moon. And, Chesty says, this is what protecting your peace looks like. It's a masterclass. And I have to say, I'm really jealous of Christina Koch, who is now able to say that she's the farthest woman from Donald Trump. That's a feat. That's history, baby. And I want to know what that felt like. I really do. And then, they also did this incredible speech on Easter Day. Should we play it? Basically, after all this nuclear war shit, and all these incredible this Nutella flying, the Loon crater. Should we play this incredible? I think it was Victor. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm not sure the sound is working. Anyway, if anyone saw it, it was really wonderful. Robert said that Rocky is his best friend, and I have to really do a shout out to that. For the people who haven't seen Project Hail Mary, I won't give you guys any spoilers, but only Ryan Gosling can entertain us for 2.5 to 3 hours without any no love interest, no romantic. At one point he does mention a girlfriend and that's it. And like we don't see her, we don't meet her, we don't, and it's basically like just him and a rock. Okay, well okay, he does make a friend who's a rock. That's the only spoiler. That's it. And yes, it's just the sweetest thing ever. And of course he has charisma. He has so much charisma. He's so charming that he has chemistry with a rock. I mean, I just don't even know what to say. So, there are a lot of good things happening in the world. If you want to forget about all the war crimes, you can watch photos and pictures of our gay moon. You can watch the astronaut speech on Easter Sunday. You can watch Christina Koch's really cool curls floating around the space station, the space ship. And you can look at photos of Jeremy, he's Canadian, the Canadian one, or Reed Wiseman, the best girl dad ever. And just like a man who has set the bar for what women expect in 2026, for a man to do for us. And then if you're really, really bored, you could also look at this video. I don't know. Mitch McConnell seems to be dying. I don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to feel about this, but maybe we should just play it and just decide as a group. His lips are purple. Like it looks like he has been cast and has had glam to be an extra in the Titanic, to be one of the floating bodies in the Titanic. And yet he is still going around doing interviews. I cannot hear him, but I don't know if people can. But you don't even need to hear what he's saying. Just look at that. Look at that. That's not who is letting him out of the house looking like that. And why do people need to die to step out of office to be done with like to step down from office? That's what I would really like to know. So you watch that, and then I guess we'll end with your moment of your moment of fart. So there's been a lot of farts in the news recently. I think there's been more than usual because of one particularly gassy president. And it seems to be spreading to the rest of his cabinet. So we do have a video. If we don't have sound, it is going to be hard for you to really get a sense of what we're talking about here, but maybe we can leave people with this as we close out this live. Pete Hegseth appears to have, so he was announcing the largest U.S. strikes on Iran, and since the conflict began, since the conflict began, and he was in a press briefing, that wasn't, but that wasn't the only bomb he dropped. Let me just put it that way. If you listen to the video, he, and we've heard some farts coming from the president that are undeniable. We've seen people's reactions to the fart, perhaps the smell. And in this case, you don't even need to see anyone's faces. You know where it's coming from. It is so obvious. It's like when we can hear it. Oh my God, thank God. Okay, let's play it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Good morning.
Play that again. Play that again.
Good morning.
No. Good morning, sir. No. What the hell is happening? Well, we know he's drunk a lot. And I do think when you're drunk at 9 a.m. or whatever time it was, sometimes one can slip out when you're about to announce more war crimes. I'm gonna flip out. How's everyone coping? How's everyone doing? Any tips? Yeah, I think, look, there are still astronauts on the moon. There are people who are capable. There are nerds who are still in charge of some. We're going to play the part again. And I'm just going to hold on to that. And the rest of the US government looks like that time they put that chimp in space, except the chimp was probably better. I would prefer the chimp. The chimp wouldn't fart at 9 a.m. I don't think so. I don't think the chimp would show up drunk to work. I don't think the chimp would have blue lips. I just think we need chimps for president, at this point. Andrew says they're probably eating a bunch of beans to show support for the charter in chief. Colleen says WTAF. Violet says, are they trolling us via farts? Is he owning the libs by breaking wind at the lectern? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There is a lot of what this administration does, and particularly Pete Hegseth, is fuck the war rules, fuck the decorum, right? As if just the Geneva Convention, respecting the Geneva Convention was not cool or not masculine. you know, and as if going to war for no fucking reason, and now getting so worked up about a war that you don't even know why you're doing it, to get to the point of a potential nuclear weapon is like, it's giving hold me back, bro. It's giving, you have a really small dick. You're having a fight with a guy who's way more powerful than you, bigger biceps. And maybe when you started the fight, you didn't notice he had big biceps because you're fucking drunk out of your fucking mind, farting at a lectern at 9 a.m. in the morning. And maybe now you realize, ooh, this guy's actually gonna kick my fucking face off. And you go, hold me back, bro. Hold me back, bro. That's what they're all doing. But instead of just saying, hold me back, bro, they're saying it and they're farting at the same time. I'm so embarrassed. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It's like everyone's seeing you. Everyone's watching what you're doing. Stop it. Stop it. Let's end on, Andrew said, make farting masculine again. Yeah, also that toot wasn't even, it's not even a dad fart. It's like, they can't do anything right. Okay, let's end on a good note. So, you know who's not farting? Russian kids. Let's play there's this video going around of these little Russian kids, and this teacher, this brilliant educator, decided to show us the benefits. You know, instead of telling us that matriarchy would be great, you know, instead of telling us, it seems like putting a lot of men in charge and getting rid of all the women seems like it's not working out super well. No, this educator decided to prove it, to show it to us. Show, don't tell. So he got his little elementary school students to separate. He segregated them based on gender. He put the boys in the front and the girls in the back. And he just asked them to go to the rhythm of a song. Okay. Rasputin. Ever heard of it? So, and let's just see what happens. If you haven't seen it, I'm jealous. Start at the beginning. Yeah. So we see the little boys. Can we hear it? Can you guys hear anything? I can't, but hopefully you are. So as you can tell, the boys are struggling. They're struggling. I mean, it's not, you know, a disaster, but you're like, they're not really cohesive. They don't know who to follow. And look at the girls. Ooh, just easy peasy. Easy fucking peasy. They just all go at the same time. They're all like calm and cool and collected and 0% overwhelmed by the task. And the boys are just scrambling. They're all so focused on their own individual rhythm instead of looking at what the others are doing and trying to cohesively emulate it. And that is a metaphor for a lot of things. It's a metaphor for planet Earth. I'm just going to put it that way. I think it's a metaphor for planet Earth. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have men in charge of anything. You know me, for the love of men. I love men. I love having men involved. But what happens when you get rid of all the women, or the only women you have left are Kristi Noem, have look like that and act like that and actually like just hate women. If you only have men and women who hate women, you get today. That's what you get. You get today. You get farts at lecterns. You get wars for no reason and war crimes in the middle of the workday. And I guess if you put women and men together, you have Scandinavia. And I feel like Scandinavia is doing way better than us. So I'll end it on that. I do want to send you a warm hug wherever you are, wherever you're listening from. If the United States and the amount of production errors that we've had in this live are a lesson in any way, it's that whatever you're going through, whatever mistake you think you did, it's not a big deal. It really doesn't matter. Literally, the president is insane. He's probably a pedophile, and he's probably gay. And I've said that, and I stand by it. And I think that's why he's acting insane, because he doesn't want to come out. So the president should just come out. The president should be put in a straitjacket. And I think women should just take over for a bit. I think only Black women should be allowed to vote just for a couple of years, just until we get things straightened out. Everyone else can take a break. Everyone else can go take a nap, take a sabbatical from democracy, and let's just let Black women decide for a bit, because they don't vote weird. They've never voted weird. So if something's working, why change it? That's my motto. And I stand by it. 44% of us voted for lady presidents. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, our producer, has pointed out really important fact to end on. And Robert says, good men love women that hate men. Ain't that the truth? Okay, so please take care of yourself. Please continue to stare at photos of the moon. And I believe there are live streams that we can watch of these astronauts. And I would just recommend self-medicating with that until Congress wakes up and does its fucking job. Okay. So that's on Whimsy Maxing. Let's go Moon Max. Let's do some moon maxing. I love you. I miss you already. If you are also, if you want something really fun to take your mind off of what's happening in the world, you can go listen to our last episode of Boy Problems. It is with Raina Greenberg. She is hilarious, really funny. We talk about a lot of things. We cover dating relationships. Is dating worse in LA or DC? You guys can sound off about that. We also talk a lot about the summer house drama, which at this point, I wish we could go back to last week when that was the biggest news happening. But we do go a little deep and anthropological about it, because as all things lowbrow, we will look at them from a highbrow perspective. So we talk about the inherent sort of sexism potentially about the summer house drama and just reality show television, usually focusing so much on how women are homewreckers, but very little on how men are also part of the equation very often when that happens. And we also talk about the science of dick pics. We share how if we didn't have patriarchy, maybe there would be more freedom and free flowing of dick pics. And I'll let you go check out the episode to find out why I'm saying that, because I have to go. So see you on Boy Problems. You can listen to the show on Spotify. You can go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps keep this whole operation afloat to go subscribe to the show, to me, Liz Plank, on YouTube. And of course, you can send this live to a friend so that they can subscribe on Substack or on Instagram or wherever you're watching right now. I don't even know where you're watching from. Hopefully one of you is watching from very far away. Even in your mind, you don't have to go to the moon to go to the moon. I think we can all close our eyes and pretend like we're in the moon and use these beautiful images that have been shared with us to remind ourselves of what our taxpayer money can go to that's positive and that's going to people who actually know what they're doing and don't fart on the job. So thank you so much for joining us for another wonderful stream, and I will see you next week. See you soon. Bye.